to Wednesday Night Live at 9, a weekly show where we discuss what's going on around the way and world. So please welcome your host, Vincent Perez. Yo, what's going on, people out there? It's your boy Vin's Daily Rant, aka the funniest Puerto Rican in the world. I'm here today, you know what I'm saying, just chilling. We've been having some crazy weather out here in the Jersey, New York area. You know, we're on tsunami watch because of what's going on in you know, over there in Spain with La Palma Island. People is talking about it's going to fall into the ocean. It's going to be 50-foot tsunami. So hopefully we can get this 50-minute show out the way before that shit hits. Tonight I got a very special guest with me, a brother in comedy with me, my man Bill the Billionaire. He's a father, he's a husband, he's a super duper giant fan. This guy is a giant fan. When I tell you he's a giant fan, like, yo, he's a giant fan. He makes me want to go to see the Giants. And I'm not really a football fan, but I have to go out there just to at least tailgate with the brother. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to bring him on right now. Again, my man, Bill the Billionaire, comic extraordinaire, businessman, all those things. Real cool dude. So give it up for him.
Bill, what's good? Man? What's good?
Nothing much, man. I had to say that Giant thing because I know you be going hard with the Giants.
Bro, let me, one, I'm a diehard. You already know that. But now it's crazy because, like, I've been a season ticket holder since I was a little kid. Well, not me. I had it through my pops. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So we used to go tailgating when I was young. You know, preseason. I was only allowed to go to the preseason games. And there was this guy. He ran a tailgate, and I would just watch him. He used to get everybody hype up there, grabbing people by the jerseys, like, get your head in the game. So I've always had that. And now I got my own tailgate. We got our own section. And I be that guy now. Like, I be out there with the mic. So I'm talking crazy about the other team. It's crazy.
Yeah, I saw the video. I saw the video the day. I saw one video 1 week. Your wife Jackie was making some bacon and eggs. I was ready to drive out just to get a bacon and egg sandwich for real because that shit looked delicious.
It was, but we don't, like I said, we don't lose in the parking lot. That's one thing. What goes on in that stadium, I have no control of. But win or lose, we don't lose in the parking lot. We start with breakfast, and then we have something. Then we after the game, we don't sit in traffic. It's crazy. It's a great experience, man. Come by hashtag G16 family if any of y'all are out there. You know, make sure y'all come check us out.
No doubt, man. So I for everybody out there, I know Bill now for how old are the twins?
The twins are four.
So I've known you for about 5 or 6 years, right?
Yep.
First time I met Bill, this is when I was rolling with Dave Sanchez, and it was Sharif. I can't think of Sharif's last name. Johnson, right? I had met you at a show you were hosting. You had A.G. White there, and you let me perform. And I forgot where it was, but Bill's been doing this for a minute, and he's one of the brothers I know who is independent. In that he's not waiting for any handouts. He's not waiting for people to give him time. He creates his own time, his own shows, and enough respect for you for doing that because you've given me more than enough time on several rooms. Actually, was one of the first persons to actually give me some money for doing comedy. So big up to that. You know, that's always a good thing. He's a very funny dude. You know what I mean? Like I said before, married man, children, the whole thing, man. Cool dude, man. And how'd you get started doing comedy, man?
Honestly, I got started doing comedy, like hosting, and a comedian, Omar Thompson, shout out to him. He had a room where he actually did one of my showcases, and I met him as a comedian. I was like, I'm trying to do a showcase, and I did my music showcase. He was like, yo, you want to come host this karaoke before the comedy show? I'm like, all right, that's nothing. So I was hosting karaoke, making jokes, bringing people to the stage, and I'm high energy. And
yeah.
I've been doing it for a couple months, and then Omar was like, yo, you should try comedy. I'm like, nah, I'm good. And then Marshall Brandon came in one time, and he was in there like, yo, when you going to stop hiding your comedy behind hosting? And I was like, nah. So he's like, yo, you can do it. I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and try it. I did an open mic, and, honestly was in love ever since. I was, just bouncing from my first show, brought all my friends and got booked that night to come to another event.
Okay.
And, like within my first 6 months, that's when Capone reached out to me.
Okay.
And he opened the door. I was at Caroline's for doing 6 shows in Caroline's, and
Okay.
he taught me a lot in the game. And I'm here now. Been doing it going on 11 years now.
11 years. That's what's up. You know, it's funny. I probably just missed meeting you because Capone. I met Capone one time. I was at a show, and I actually walked up to him, and he's a cool dude, man. Like he's a very approachable person.
Definitely.
I walked up to him. I was like, I do comedy, and at that time, he was doing a comedy like class sort of thing.
I was in there. I was in there.
In Harlem, up at the Harlem Theater.
The bowling alley over there too.
Well, yeah. I met him when he was doing it at the Harlem Theater.
Okay.
And that's where I met Omar. I met Dave Lester.
You doing that? You was in that class. Okay.
Yes. I was in there.
Yeah.
He was probably the next class after me.
Yeah.
I've met Marlon Randolph. I did one of his shows. He used to have a spot in Jersey City, I believe.
Okay.
A long time ago. If it's the same person I'm thinking about. So yeah, I started doing that. I've been doing comedy like on and off for a long time, like since early 2000s, probably earlier than that.
Wow.
One of those things where, comedy is a very, fickle thing, and you got to dedicate 125% of your time to really do it. And unfortunately, with the job and children, I've never really had 100% focus into it like I have now. So I've met a lot of people through the years. Like I said, so I did it with the class with Capone.
Yeah.
I did one of his shows. This was like the first time I really fucking bombed, right? Because everybody has those shows. You have those bombing shows, right? Shout out to my man Demain Gignard. Matter of fact, Demain was at the show that we just did a couple weeks ago at the brunch.
Okay.
Regina's. Yeah. Shout out to Demain. So I went to his class, and it was cool. And I had done Gotham and Broadway and New York Comedy Club, all of the white clubs, right?
I was about to say, I see where this is going.
All the white clubs, right? And not to say that I didn't have funny stuff, because I had pretty funny stuff. I had a fear of performing in front of black folks because I know how we are. Yeah. You better be funny, or we'll cut your head off, right?
Right.
So I hang on with Capone, and Capone's like I said, he's like, all right, just write stuff, and he's giving you advice. And I had actually done a couple of shows. Dave Lester had a couple of open mics somewhere. He had saw me perform. Matter of fact, he saw me performing in Harlem at 116th. What we just talking about, Mocha's.
Okay.
I saw him do a show there, and that's when I forgot. I don't think it was Smokey was the host, and it was somebody else.
Probably JP Justice.
Exactly. So I met Lester there, and we started talking, and I think then we met each other at Capone's thing. Fast forward, he's doing a show at the Harlem Theater. There must have been about 250 in the audience, man. Easy. You know what I mean? Easy, 250 people. And that's where I met Trev Houston. So Trev's there. Trev's hosting the spot. So they called me out. I go out there with my Sunday best on, man. I go into my set, and I made a joke about, because my daughter had just been born, and like the whole crying, like I said something to the effect of, now I know why people kill their kids.
Oh,
yeah. And I had did that shit like a week before that at like killed. Gotham or some shit like that, and it killed.
Yeah.
But every woman, and this is a lesson that you have to learn, and I've learned over the years of doing comedy, is that learn how to read the room. Before you go on, you better be looking at who's in the room.
Yeah.
I looked out into the audience, and never forget seeing this one woman in the audience, and the look she gave me. If looks could have killed, I would have exploded, right? Next thing, I'm like 2 minutes in the set, and then the audience just turned. They didn't boo me. They just got quiet.
It's that awkward
before the boo.
It's that awkward feel.
It's the calm before the storm, Bill.
Yeah.
So all I know is Trev grabbed the mic, like he was off stage, like, all right, give it to me. And I ran out of there, nigga. I ran out of there like Prince in Purple Rain. I ran out there, bitch.
Like you, I'm out of here.
I was like, yo, I didn't even look at anybody. I just ran out there, and I never forget. He used to have this female who worked the door for him. Was his assistant?
Mhm.
Assistant. I can't think of her name. What's top of my head? I walked past her. She was like, "How'd it go?" And I just kept moving. Yo, I was so embarrassed. So then, I think that was like on I forgot what night it was on. The next time he has class, I walk into class. He looks at me. He says, "Yo, I didn't think you were gonna come back. You got a lot of heart, man." And I was like, everybody has a bad show. I had a bad show. What the fuck am I gonna do? And then I wound up doing a show that went pretty well. And
Mhm.
that's when I think I was with, it was me, Omar, Capone. That's when they was at, what was that club on the Latin, with the new Latin Quarter on like
Oh, he was,
54th and
he was under,
like 48th and like
the
over
Copa?
there by,
Was that the Copa?
no, it wasn't the Copa. It was on 48th and I think, like Lexington, right over there. I think it was the new Latin Quarter. I forgot what it was. It was a club over there that had like Spanish night
Mm-hmm.
performed, and that was the first time people from my job had saw me and was like, "Yo, I didn't know you do comedy and everything like that." The funny thing is, fast forward like 10 years later, I'm at the job, and this guy at the job keeps looking at me. I'm like, "Why does this guy keep looking?" And he's like, "Yo, man, I remember you." And I was like, "Word? Well, you do comedy, right?" I was like, "Yeah, so yeah, I do comedy." Like, "Yeah, well, you see me?" He's like, "You were at Capone's thing in the Harlem Theater and you bombed." And I was
Oh man. He said,
like, yo, I was like, "Fuck you,"
like this, so
but
that's all
thanks
you
a lot.
remember? That's all you remember.
That's all you remember, right? Yeah, fuck you. So, oh man, what's one of your worst comedy experiences if you can remember one?
Yo, there was one. This is like when I first started,
Mhm.
and well, the one comedy experience was crazy. Like when you thought you was somebody and you should have just humbled yourself or
Mhm.
whatever. So I had one real quick. I had this show and it was in the Bronx. It was JP Justice Room. This is right when first I met JP Justice, and this is when I first started. Like I'm trying to build up a little name. This is before Carolines and stuff. So I'm out here
Mhm.
building up a name, trying to do my thing. I'm like, yo, new rookie of the year coming. I'm out here killing shows. You know what I'm saying? So I'm out there in the Bronx and I'm doing this show. And it's like when I'm holding wall bars
Mhm.
and a whole bunch of hood dudes in there, everything. And I'm out there doing different jokes. Back then I had a wig joke, put a wig on.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I was doing all that. And I was literally performing in front of a kitchen, and there's a shower curtain right behind me, and I'm
Mhm.
talking crazy, and there's Spanish guys in the back. I'm like, "Hey, yo, bye." I moved the curtain, the whole curtain fell, and I'm in the middle of the show, like, "Oh man!" So now the whole
Oh.
kitchen is open. I'm holding the shower curtain joint up like this. So some people's laughing, and some people's out there like, "Oh,
Yeah,
this."
yeah, yeah.
Yo, it's so awkward when you like. This is when I learned like you should just leave after the show. You know how you got to walk by the comedians and they be like, "Yo, good set." I'm not that dude. Like I'm the dude I don't make no eye contact. I'm gonna walk out the way if I see you coming because I don't want to lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, 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 yeah.
So, but one joint I got too crazy and it was bad because I saw myself later. I did the show in the Bronx.
Mhm.
Jonathan Martin was there, Smokey was there,
Mhm.
forget some other people. So it was a big show and I opened up, killed it.
Mhm.
I'm drinking. This is why I used to try to drink
Uh-oh.
crazy before the drinking. So this is I can't think of the dude's name. DJ Mario, I think. No, it's another dude that was in. His name is Rob something. He used to do videos, the comedy DVDs.
Mhm.
So dude coming around with the cameras. I'm out here like, yo, what's good? It's your boy Bill the Billionaire. Yeah, out here just doing my thing, man. Yeah, I'm the new man in town. I'm like one of them like rap talking crazy. I'm talking so crazy. Months later, I'm at one of these comedy shows and they're showing the joint on the wall, like in this club. And I'm
Wow.
like, oh, yo, and I gotta go up. After that, I set myself too high. They was like this. Oh, I can't mess with it. But yeah, I mean, everybody's got them bombing nights, man.
Listen, it definitely builds the character, man. I don't know, you talk about drinking. I remember when this is when I knew I couldn't drink or smoke or anything before a show.
Mm-hmm.
We're going back early 2000s, like 2001, 2002. I started doing the first time I did comedy. Shout out to my wife, Camelia. She was the one who basically all my, like, all your life you funny, right? You're the class. I was class clown. I would make all my peoples laugh, and we would get blazed, and I would do all the impressions and all that shit, right? So my boys were like, you should do stand up. And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do stand up. My wife not only is as funny as me, she's my muse, man. You know what I mean? Kind of like how I'm sure how you and Jackie are. You guys feed off each other, right?
Yep.
She's like, well, I'm gonna fucking get you to do a show. And I was like, nah. She went and called Gotham, had like an open mic, set me up, and was like, oh, by the way, Saturday you performing, so get some material together.
You know how dope that is? That's dope though.
Yeah, man, that was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like I see how, I see how Jackie holds you down at the door and says, so I know I see the dynamic there. So
that joint, like ever since I met your wife, I mean, I remember you have come to the show. She's at the show with you.
Yeah,
she rocking out. Y'all together. Like you see me and Jackie, my wife. Shout out to my wife. She works all the doors at all my shows, and like she been doing this since day one. I'm talking about. When I thought I was bigger than what I was, and she was at the door, and I thought chicks was coming like before we got married. She been through the grind with everything to really understand everything, but to have that true support is so real. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
man.
there was a point where like I said, I wasn't making money, I wasn't traveling, I was getting $25, and I had lost my job, and even during that time, I was like, yo, what I'm gonna do? I'm not working, and this is that. I can't be like this. She like, yo, rock out. Like she took care of me. She held me down, and it got to a point where I'm like, yo, you got a chick that's sitting there like, nah, she's supporting what you want to do, and you're not even where you at.
You're not big. You're not a big dog yet. Yeah.
So
you gotta love that.
You like that's somebody you got to keep by your side. And like I said, I'm daggone married 6 years now.
Congratulations, brother.
And we go through our stuff, but that's just life. That's marriage.
That's life. That's life. For real. So yeah, man, she signed me up for my show, and like I might have been like, I'm like you. I'm like, yo, I could do this. You know what I'm saying? Let me go smoke this L before the show, because you know what I'm saying. Let me go smoke this L. Let me go smoke this L. So
we can talk about that.
So I smoked, and it was the old Gotham, because the new Gotham is like 23rd between 6th and 7th. It's where the Metropolitan Room is now. And I don't know if they still do comedy at that room, but that's where the old Gotham Comedy Club was. So this is like 2001, 2002. And I don't remember if my wife, because my wife used to go to all my shows. I don't think she was there that day. So I got fucked up, went to the spot, and now I'm outside the club, and I forgot all my material. And I kind of froze. So I went out there to do the set, and I'm in the middle of the set, and I'm literally sitting there stuck for like 10 seconds. And I got so fucked up and so paranoid.
Yeah.
I left that show, I left that set, and never again have I ever drank or smoked anything before a set. Even to this day, like I might have a beer.
Yeah, but drink, I know what you're talking about.
But I'm not like going hard, because that just stunts your whole mental growth.
You were so right, and it's crazy because I always tell the story. This is when I found out, one, that I didn't have to curse and do comedy. And because one time, before it was because of nerves. Yeah, I'm just gonna drink, and then you know how our rooms be. Show start at 8, don't start till 9:30, whatever it is. So you got all that time. You sitting there drinking, chilling, the vibe. So one thing that I've been blessed with is just the personality and the talent and the energy to grab people. It's not the material, but I've hosted shows. I can be with people. So in the beginning, I was drinking, and if the jokes wasn't working, the energy just helped it out. And I would always get off stage and be like, dang, I forgot to do this joke. Dang, I forgot this line in the joke. And then this and that. So one day I'll go to the show, and big show, and I'm opening up. And I'm like, I'm not drinking. I'm just going to go ahead and do it without drinking. Now I'm nervous as hell. Go out there. As soon as I hear that big first laugh, boom, joint went crazy. I'm like, oh, we eating now. I'm hitting my jokes, and I'm hitting them how they're supposed to be done. Not the drunk one, not this is that. And after that, I was like, nope, I'm not drinking, because I remembered everything. And I stayed focused, and it was just there. Now, if I'm hosting, I don't have to, because I'm not going to do a set. So now I can just feel the crowd out. That's nothing. But when I got to go ahead and perform and have a set, now I'm good.
Yeah.
I can't drink. I don't smoke. Like when I smoke, at a 420 show before. Okay, they had this 420 show now, and I'm like the last comedian. So it's a whole bunch of people, and everybody in there high, and I'm in there just high too. And I'm like, yo, I cannot smoke before a show.
Yes.
Because my thing is this: all they're gonna get. I did one written joke. Everything else was freestyle because I couldn't. I can sit here and just smoke and maybe write ideas down. I put stuff down and I get back to it. But performing, nah, I gotta hope. It's crazy.
Your brain gets stuck on stupid. Your brain gets stuck on stupid, man.
Like that joint, you just floating.
Yeah, you think you're funny, but you're not.
It's not. It's not. It's not.
You know, it's crazy. I know that, I've gotten a lot better, a lot better with how I feel before a show. And my wife would be like, you're an asshole the day of a show. Like my wife is like, you're acting like an asshole. Go somewhere and sit down.
Yeah.
So I've adopted a lot of routines that I do before a show or anything like that. And I've done a couple of shows with you, more than a couple of shows with you. And you'll come up to me and you have no idea like what's going on. You know what's going on in my mind. But I have a pretty good poker face. But like you just said 2 minutes ago, when you get that first laugh, regardless of what it is. So it's important to kind of have that icebreaker. Like the last show I did, we were up there and I did the thing about the alpha thing, bugging with and the audience kind of threw me there was an audience member there. He threw me the fucking ball and I hit it because he allowed me to kind of, okay, now I can just
now I gotta go into myself. Yeah.
Exactly. And what I love about your shows and your audience is that you have everybody from 20 to 65 up in there, and everybody's there to laugh and have a good time. No one's there to be assholes. Everybody's literally having a good time, and that's what's important about doing good comedy shows, because there are going to be those times where like I did a show, man, and I'm pretty sure you heard about this show, the show that got shot up in Newark a couple years.
Where Tony Bird was at?
Yes.
That you was there?
Yes, I was there. I went on before Tony went on, because Tony was she was fucking the cleanup. She was the headliner.
Yeah.
I went on before her in Bloomfield. Exactly. I went on before her, and Tony gets up there. She starts doing her set, and like 3 to 5 minutes in her set, we hear pop, and we're like, "What the fuck is that?" You know what I'm saying? But we from we if you're not from the hood, you're hood adjacent. Like shit ain't right? You know what I mean? So we kind of all froze for a second, and then it was pop, 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 and that shit went crazy.
That's cool.
I remember, like, so that's like one of my worst shows, and I was like, damn, I'm glad they didn't start shooting. I would never have done comedy again if it was during my set, right?
But no, I swear, like those. But this is the reason why sometimes, like, I stopped doing certain shows, certain places. I'm like, nah, listen, this joint, because I want to feel like I like my crowd is. Everybody in there having a good time. I'm not sitting here trying to fight you and do. It get crazy, and then it can be something in the crowd. I'm like, yo, that's why I always need that. That connection from the crowd, and I ain't confront. That's important on the host too. You know what I mean? The host is very important to get ahead and make sure the crowd is ready for it. You ease them out, because it can get crazy. It can get crazy. But I didn't know you was at that show. That's wild.
Yeah, I was at that show, and I wound up doing a show probably maybe a couple of 2 or 3 weeks after that, because at that time I was rocking with AG a little bit, AG White, and he said, "Yo, come out to this show at Flatbush." And I was like, Flatbush, Brooklyn, you know what I mean? Now I'm from Queens originally, you know what I mean? I know Brooklyn, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm like, Flatbush, Brooklyn, Jamaicans. Like, all right, well, I could do some accents and shit like that. I could play around with that.
Yeah.
And I went up there and I had a good show, and I was like, yo, this is a lot better than the last show I did. At least y'all ain't shooting, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you waiting, because you think shit like that happens. And when I told my wife, because I didn't grow up in Jersey.
Yeah.
I've lived in Jersey City, my wife is from Jersey City. So when I said, well, we was in Bloomfield, she was like, oh, that's like right next to Newark. That's
it's like the first one, where you at in Bloomfield? Like, you got
exactly.
I remember at one point Jackie was like, I know, because like I said, I wasn't originally out here. I went to school in Paramus Catholic, but I was
Mhm.
in the Bronx, so I knew Bergen County. After
Mhm.
we left Bergen County, it was like I heard of Newark, and then I know Trenton's at the end.
Mhm.
So when I hear Bloomfield, we played in my high school. I'm like, Bloomfield, no, that's like the hood. But then
Yeah.
Jackie showed me like, no, there's a beautiful houses, and Bloomfield got this and that. And I'm like, oh, it is nice. You hit that one corner though, whole Bloomfield changed. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because I should have knew something was up when they was literally like, it looked like the dude that ran the chicken spot probably sold heroin at the back. That was like selling chicken was secondary to the real business that was the real goings on that was going
Yeah.
on in there, man. But yeah, man. So um, what do you find different between, let's say, your white clubs and your black clubs, or your white clubs, white audience and your black audience? What do you think the main difference is?
Everybody takes it goes back to what you said earlier. Everybody takes comedy differently. You know, it's on delivery. It's definitely on delivery. You know what I mean? Because like we can go to the white room. It's like it's reading your crowd. You know, and
Mhm.
that's like you said, reading your crowd. But my thing is, when I go to a white room, I try not to be as energy as I am, and not saying, and then kind of slow it down for them. You know,
Mhm.
so that's like I think comedy's more. They want to sit there and see you sit on the stool and talk to them.
Mhm.
To
Mhm.
with me, I'm in your face. Da, 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 da.
Mhm.
Now for the black room, oh, they love that. They love
Mhm.
that all in my face,
Mhm.
giving it to the crowd and joking on that. People that
Mhm.
go in the Broadway, Gotham, stuff like that, they want to sit there and be like, So it's you have to know the crowd, and you have to
Mhm.
know you can do the same joke in both
Mhm.
rooms, but you have to deliver them differently in each room. And that's something that you only learn by getting up on stage doing these crowd. Each room is going to be different. Black, white, Jamaican. It's
Yeah.
not just like black, white, Jamaican. Like you said, you went to a Jamaican room. This
Yeah.
Jamaican joke might work here, and
Mhm.
it might kill in Gotham, but it might not work in front of these people. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you said, knowing your crowd, knowing the people you're delivering it to, how you gotta speak their language. Basically, you have to speak their language.
Definitely. I think to add on what you just said, I find that um I don't want to be a caricature in front of
Mm-hmm.
a white audience, right? I'm very
Yeah.
conscious about how I look and how I come across,
Mm-hmm.
because although I'm a comedian, I'm not a clown. There's a difference.
Facts.
That's why, I like all the greats. I like Chappelle. I like George Carlin,
Okay.
Pryor, Fox. All of these cats,
Mm-hmm.
both Foxes, Jamie Foxx as well. He's a great
Mm-hmm.
comedian.
Oh no, that's that. I mess with Jamie. Don't get that twisted.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because he's an entertainer as well. The late like Bernie Mac and all of them, they're funny, but they're not buffoons. Like I can't
Got
go there
they
because
put on the clown hat dancing out there.
yeah,
They
and
being them.
I think a lot of your clubs in New York, white establishment, they're looking for the next Eddie Murphy or the next whoever, or, you know what I mean? Chris Rock's another one, cerebral comedian.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Rock can be crazy, but he'll also drop some knowledge, right? So
Yeah.
that's the type of comedy I want to do. I want to have fun with the audience, but I also don't want to make them. I want them to laugh with me, not at me.
Gotcha.
And Dave said that the best when the reason why he left the whole Comedy Central deal was like, yo, they were laughing at me, not with me, and
Yeah.
it bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
So I know now, especially like I've been going back to Broadway, whatever. I did that audition thing. I got up there and was aggressive, and I was like talking to them,
Mm-hmm.
and talking at them. I was doing my comedy, whatever, and I said some things that probably they're not used to hearing,
Yeah.
but I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I said what I said,
Yeah.
and the dude liked it. Like the booking agent liked it and everything like that. But my whole thing is that I don't want them to feel that I'm there like the court jester.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I know about performing in front of us, in front of our people, is that they've had a long week. And
Mm-hmm.
not to say that white folks don't work hard. I'm just saying I know my people. We want a good show. We paying $25, whatever the drink minimum is, if there is one. We want a good show. We want to laugh, because and we want to, and you could do this. You could do any type of comedy with a black audience as long as it's funny and it's relatable, and they allow you. You're because it's your own people. You feel comfortable. You're allowed to kind of have like you can almost sit down next to them and have a
It's like
conversation.
we sitting in the living room. I don't feel like we
Exactly.
sitting
I don't
because I'm
feel like
talking to family.
I'm on watch. I'm
Yeah.
just it's so comfortable. And like I said before, one thing I like about your shows is that your audience is there to laugh. They're not there to pose. No one's trying to be too cute.
Yeah.
And those shows like I've been to shows like that. I'm like, they're just here because they here with their man or whatever. But it's you got to learn how to work these audiences, man. And you got like when I bombed in that show, and I knew exactly what I did. And I've had so many jewels given to me from different comedians, and I want to say it was Capone was like, you got to know your audience, and you never want to have the women turn on you.
Oh yeah, you do. If women turn on you, it's over.
It's over.
Like, I hate going to shows and it's predominantly males. My stuff is not that it's directed for women, but women should be there because they're gonna do it, and dudes are gonna be like, "Yo, he right." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm looking for the women to laugh, and the dudes will be like, "Yo, that happened to me." That type of thing. But something that you said I didn't want to forget when you was breaking down the room, and not want to be the puppet. This is another reason that I started doing my own shows, and the reason why I do want to eventually have my own club. Shout out to Omar, just open up his club.
Yes.
You know what I
Big
mean?
shout out to Omar Thompson,
Yeah,
comedian, who opened up his own club.
in
Fucking,
Harlem. So
I'm
I'm
so
like,
proud of him.
yeah, so that's like dope because now I have my own club and you can't tell me how to, you know what I'm saying? Whoever comes, comes. But I'm gonna be me. You're not gonna tell me that I just did a show over here, did the same set, and I murdered over here. And I got to your set and to your spot where whatever it is, and y'all not feeling that style. I'm not gonna change y'all. Then it wasn't for you. You get what I'm saying, or whatever. But I don't have to change up who I am. I believe people learn differently, so that's why I say in delivery. But you still getting the same work. I'm not gonna get do my jokes like, "Hey, listen, no, you're gonna get me, but I'm gonna slow it down because y'all might not understand it the way I can talk to you and be like, yo, listen." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's ways, but I think that's why I think it's so dope to create your own lane. And that feel that you want, that's the people that you got to go ahead and attract and get there. And because those people are going to send that things out. And that's how we've been building. I feel like when I go to my shows, if it's your first time, you definitely coming back. And it's really that family, like I can talk to you. Like, we in the backyard barbecue, I can be me. Even the people that do bad, that bomb, they still showing you love. You know what I'm saying? They're like, "Bro, get the heck on the stage." Now we're gonna make jokes because as a whole side to do that. But at the same time, you'll have somebody come out of that crowd like, "Yo, don't even worry about it, man. You just getting on stage was dope." Having that or doing whatever. That's the type of environment I want to be around. So that's what
That's the type of you want to grow in.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to grow as a comedian, the audience there at your shows are always, and I'm very, very humble. Like, it was funny. The last show we did, the sister that was there, what was her name? I know her. I can't think of her name. The short performing, the first female that performed.
Vernita.
Yeah. So I know Vernita, right? I've done shows with her before, and it was funny because I saw her vibe, and I was like, we walked up there, and you was like, let's take pictures, and I was like, I said to her, I said, don't they know that we introverts? She was like, right. I said, most comedians, as funny as like I know. A lot of guys I know who are comedians, and some of them are just, and I can be boisterous and funny and all that, but sometimes after I do my show, I kind of just want to
go
into a corner and chill a little bit. You know what I mean? Because it takes a lot of energy to do what we do, man. It's not easy,
It's not.
to get up there, and you got to be funny on like now. As soon as you grab the mic, right? So, but yeah, man. So you got a show coming up on Halloween. So what's that going to be like, man? Tell the audience about it.
Now this is what I do want to get ahead and tell y'all. Like, this show is a dope show. It's not one of my productions. I'm booking all the comedians, but it's my show. We do it for the Elks Lodge. I want to get the right information. It's at the Idle Lodge 470. Okay, Idle Lodge 470. That's on 17 Bennett Road in Englewood, New Jersey. So it's one of like the Elks Lodges, and it's one of the last African American, Black owned lodges that's out there. And during the pandemic, they got hit hard. So they're like, yo, they're trying to do fundraisers, and that's what we bring it to. So we bring in a dope Halloween show on Halloween night. Best costume, you get a prize. We're gonna be in there partying, but we bringing the Halloween funny. I know that I got some stories to talk about. I know then you probably got some stuff to talk about.
Man, I got some Halloween stories for your ass.
Yeah, so but it's crazy because the same crowd that we talking about is gonna be like your family coming out there getting dressed up. You're gonna have every age. We talking from 25 and all the way to somebody's grandma might pull up. Okay, we had one show we did at Regina's. This lady came and celebrated her 87th birthday.
Wow.
The show brought her old AARP crew, and she was in there rocking, dancing up the line, modeling and everything. And I'm like, this is dope. So definitely gonna be a dope event.
And it's for a good cause.
Yeah, definitely for a good cause. We keep our businesses open. So this is definitely dope. So I hope y'all can get it, come out. You can hit my page or Vince's page, and we'll be out there.
Yeah, man. I like doing shows, especially for a good purpose and cause, man. You know what I mean? I like just getting on stage, man. You know what I mean, and having fun. And it's so dope when you can go out there with people who think like you and want to laugh and have a good time. Nobody's mean mugging. Yeah. This spot will definitely not get shot up. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, no, I'm sure of it.
Definitely. I'm sure of it. Definitely. There will be no gunshots. But so I
shooting at Vin shows.
Listen, exactly. Don't go to Vin's shooting over there. You need a vest when you walk up into some of my shows.
Yeah, exactly.
But this part of the show, I'm gonna play a couple of videos. So speaking of Halloween, I saw this video on TikTok that's fucking hilarious to me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna rock this real quick.
Okay.
My name is Michael Audrey Myers, and I'm one of the greatest ever. Every morning I wake up, 2 raw eggs in the gym, 2-3 hours, sauna, cardio, training, weightlifting. I do it all. I cut off all distractions. Look right here. Sent to me about 4 or 5 minutes ago before the interview. Look at it right here. Look. She talked about it coming to Miami, Annabelle. Talk about coming to Miami. Left her on red. I ain't coming to Miami. I'm working. Everybody always asks me, how do you get there? When they see you, they're running across the building. They're running down the stairs. They're running across the parking garage. They're in their car. They think they're safe. You're already there. How do you do that? Work ethic. Nobody working like me. Nobody. Pennywise talk about, I'm big time. You living in the sewer. My condo $4,800 a month. You're not moving like me. You know what I'm saying? You heard the 4 greats. Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Michael Phelps, Michael Myers. That's me. I'm one of the big dogs. And, let's wrap this shit up. I got places to be. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go murder some of.
Yo, that right there is a classic. That's dope. I ain't see that one.
Yeah, that was on TikTok, man. You know what? It's funny because it's true. Like between him and Jason, these motherfuckers have made 40 films between the both of them, and they can never kill this dude.
Now, like, why is Michael still here?
Yo, wasn't he older than Jamie Lee Curtis? So if Jamie Lee Curtis is in her 60s, Mike Myers is like 75. He should be with a wheelchair right now, son. He should be rocking a walker.
He looked like he keep getting bigger and bigger. Like, yo, what is going on?
He's on roids. He's got that roid rage for real, man.
Yo.
But all right, so I'm gonna play a couple more videos and then before we get out of here. So I don't know if you guys have seen Squid Games.
Yes.
That was crazy. Like I watched that show.
People that think about that stuff is ridiculous. And then for there to be a possibility for a 2,
yes. Man, and what one quick fact about the dude, when my boy L told me about this, the guy spent 10 years shopping that script.
They were denying
until Netflix picked it up.
Yeah.
But I saw this video on TikTok today, and it's basically black folks, if black folks were in Squid Games. Here it goes.
Cash Money Records taking over for the 99 in the 2000s. Girl, you working with some bad game. This fat game, make your roller spin his cash, his last check.
Oh man, let me tell you something. There are so many talented people on TikTok who be coming up with some shit, man.
Yo, you want to know what's crazy, yo? I recently, maybe about a month ago, just made a TikTok. Don't do nothing on it. I think I did one. I posted a video for but I gotta get on. I heard it's it's funny. I posted like little, but nah, I gotta get on this thing. They out here doing it.
Listen, I started a TikTok and I probably got more views from certain things that I did on TikTok than ever on Instagram. And again, just like anything else. So when Facebook came out, everybody was on Facebook. Facebook turned out to be, oh, that's the old man's app, or that's the old woman's app. And then everybody moved to IG. Now everybody's either on TikTok or Snapchat. Instagram and Facebook are scrambling now. They're trying to figure out how we going to bring back all the younger people, because the younger people, again, remember, just think about when you were younger in your 20s and when I was in my teens and 20s, we shaped the culture. We moved the culture, with the music and everything else. So now with the advent of all this technology, that's where everything's happening right now, man. You go on TikTok, you can get lost on TikTok for hours. TikTok is like going to the fucking and going to YouTube into a black hole. You go into a YouTube black hole, you don't come out for hours.
Yeah.
You start thinking about aliens and shit. It's a crazy YouTube bunny hole, rabbit hole is crazy.
Yo, you get locked. I remember some long nights. I used to be just sitting there.
Yo, son, they got aliens underground, son. They got bases underground, my nigga.
Yo, Michael Myers got a 17th movie, nigga. Like, listen.
Illuminati's real, son. They coming to get us. Oh man. But I'm gonna play a couple more videos. So this one right here is funny to me. We all grew up. I'm a 70s baby. I think you were 80s baby,
80s
right?
baby,
So
yeah.
you know what's up. We both had those parents. My parents are Puerto Ricans, and your parents, I'm assuming, is like from the South. That type of vibe, right? They don't play.
Not
you get your ass whooped. Today we're different parents. I was just talking to my boy yesterday about we allow our children a lot more leverage than our parents gave us. Like, we let them get away with a lot of shit. Your children will say some shit to you, and you be like, man, back in the day, I might have got my teeth knocked out for some shit like that.
That's a fact.
It's a whole different
that
game.
Wouldn't even slip the tongue. You know what I mean?
What if it wasn't mom?
Well, your parents used to, when you go to your friend's house, and your mom used to get ahead and say, you have your right to get ahead and put your hands on this kid if he act up. Like, they was giving their rights to beat your kid to somebody. I know all my other friends' mothers. And this is where you really started calling them mom, because that's when you look down as, oh no, that's mom, because she could your mother gave rights for her to put hands on you. Oh no, that was real.
It was a neighborhood thing. It was definitely a neighborhood thing, man. So I'm gonna play this one last one, and then we're gonna go talk about this one story I read about.
All right, cool.
Pick this shit up off the floor. What the fuck is this shit going on the floor? Bitch, you picking up shit all that goddamn yummy.
2 hours later.
How do I say goodbye?
Facts. You get your block knocked off for coming out your mouth the way some of these kids
be on clouds right now. Like, listen.
But speaking of, well, you just said something about community. So before we get out of here, on this week's Vin's Wednesday Night Live, Dad's on duty. All right, I read this story about it's down in Southwood High School in Shreveport, Louisiana. It was a span of 72 hours where something in the 24 students were arrested and expelled because of fighting and gang affiliation and all that stuff. And a group of fathers, there was a gentleman by the name of Michael Lafitte Jr., who hosted it at one of his office where he works. It originally started with 5 dads, and they wanted to come up with an idea to kind of stop the violence and all of the bullshit that was happening at this school. And they came up with the idea of Dads on Duty. It has since grown to 40 fathers, and they're a presence in the school. They said that they're telling their daddy jokes. They're there for just to be compassionate men, because the thing is that we're in a society right now where police violence is through the roof, and we're already seen as animals. So it's I just wanted to shed some light and big these guys up, because what they're doing is beautiful, and they've taken policing the community in their own hands, and they're starting at the high school, and this is something that they probably need to start in all these schools and even at younger ages, because I know when I was a kid, if a kid fucked up in the school and dad came to the school, you might get your ass whooped in front of the class. And I'm not saying that you should bring that back, but having that presence there, I think is so important. And there's so many communities that are disadvantaged because of finances and money, and they're in the wrong district. They don't have the right senator or congressman or alderman or mayor behind them. So they took the time out of their own time and they started this program. So big up to Michael Lafitte Jr. and the dads on duty out of Shreveport. They need to do this in so many different neighborhoods. They need to make this national, man. So I mean, what do you think about that, Bill?
I think it was definitely excuse me. I think it was definitely dope. Like you said, a lot of these areas. I mean, two things when I saw the story, I thought about the teachers that are teaching these kids. One thing is a lot of these schools, the teachers don't look like them.
Mm-hmm.
You get very few, and that's one thing. So now they're coming into school, I feel, and they feel like, okay, I gotta, if it's a white teacher, whatever, I gotta be strong. I gotta show, she's still that white cracker dude. There's just the respect level isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know when my mom, she used to be, she was a retired teacher. First day of school, she went to a school where everybody's next step was pretty much jail. And she was teaching phys ed, and these kids would fight the teachers and do this and that. First day of school, my mom used to come in there and be like, all right, listen, I'm out these other teachers, and I mean, straight letting them know, like, you will get it.
Yes.
Ever since then, every student that she had calls her mom, calls her auntie, are still in her lives now, calling her father, because it was a respect level. You're not going to disrespect me. I'm not going to disrespect you. You do wrong, I'm going to tell you when you're wrong. But then I'm also going to give you love. And these men that are doing this program is so dope, because they're not doing it for no money. They sitting there, I really care, and they see the change. And my dad is going 6'5". When we came up, my dad didn't have to put his hands on me. He just looked at me like. But it wasn't just for me. Everybody on my basketball team, my friends, this is that. So now when you have that impact for somebody that doesn't have a dad or things like that, and there's someone that we can get ahead and look at you like that, but he's going to get ahead and take us out here. We're going to bug out. We're going to laugh. I'm crying with this dude. I can lean on. I need something. And when those people start doing that, like when these dads are doing that, it's like, wow. So when they get ready to fight, because fights will still happen.
Yes.
Between that other teacher coming in and be like, yo, hey, stop. That teacher yelled stop 20 times already. That dad can come in and be like, Kevin, cut it. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as
I know your father.
As soon as Kevin hear that, he gonna stop. And out of respect for him, they stop. And then you can handle the situation. So I think it's definitely dope. And the impact, is, like I said, it's needed so many places, because these kids is missing that. So I think changing these teachers or talking to these teachers and really letting them connect with these students, because I think some of them are just, I'm going to do what I got to do, and they're great teachers. I don't care, black, white, whatever it is, but I think those things play a part. The teachers need to get ahead and get that respect from day one and move forward with it. I got a teacher with my kids, they're in pre-K 4, and as a parent, I got that respect for it. I'm do what you do. One of those that beat the kid if he act up. You know what I'm saying? Call me. One of those. I think it's definitely dope.
It's definitely good, and it's worked because they haven't had any issues of major violence, no arrests since they've been doing that. So big up those guys. And any last words before you get out here, man? We got anything last to say?
First off, I just gotta say to you, I said it to you before, but I'm just happy that you back and you rocking and you doing, you got your show here. I know I see your grind and everything you do, and like I truly believe in you, so keep doing what you're doing, man. I've seen the growth from day one since I met you. We stopped not saying we stopped talking for anything like that. We just haven't worked with each other in a minute.
Yeah.
And you know, us coming back is like we ain't never left. You know what I mean? So I wish you the best of luck with everything with your show. And you know, I'm always welcome to come back. You know,
of course, man. Listen. You know what? Real talk, Bill. You know, I want to thank you for giving me opportunities and things of that nature. You know, like I said at the start of the show, you're a cool dude, man. You're funny as hell, and I admire your business swagger. It's because it's show business, right? So I admire the business aspect of what you do because you're creating opportunities for comedians out there, and you're bringing entertainment to our people, to the community. You know what I mean? And you have different comedians. You know what I mean? It's not I've seen you have everybody there. So you like funny. I like to laugh. We like to laugh, man. And that's what it is, man. And I appreciate you, brother. And you know, I look forward to Sunday. So what am I, Saturday or Sunday? Am I bugging?
Sunday.
Sunday's Halloween, because I forgot when Halloween is. Sunday, Halloween. It's listen. Go to my IG page. Go to Bill the Billionaire comedy. He's on Instagram. He's on Facebook. He's on everywhere. He's everywhere.
Yeah, Cash. You can go to www.billionairecomedy.com and everything's there. I got my old sketches.
He got websites and shit, yo. He big dogging it. You know what I mean? He's big dogging it. So come support it. Come support not only a funny guy, but a businessman. He knows what he's doing, man. And a friend of mine. He's a friend of ours. So come out and see some good comedy, man. And that's basically it. I'm Vin from Vin's Daily Rant. Thanks everyone who came out this evening to watch us bug out and have a good time. This was a great show, man. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Matter of fact, next Wednesday is November 3rd, the day after my birthday. So it's going to be the birthday show. I don't know who I'm going to have on here yet. It just might be me with a birthday hat on, wilding the fuck out. I don't know yet, but we'll see. So tune in next week, Wednesday, 9 o'clock. And we'll hope to have a good time. And see you next week. All right? Peace.
Peace.